Welcome back, gentlemen. Another episode of the La Liga Lounge coming at you. Me and Houston, live as always. No guest today. So Houston, me and you getting down to business, buddy. How you doing?
Going down to business, Dan. Doing good. 2 game win streak. It's not
Mm,
5 game win streak, but
mm.
it has the 2 game win streak has kept me in the hunt. Um, Having fun. Feel like we've been gone a while. That's not the case. I want to make a clarification before we get into it. Uh, this is episode 7. There is a secret vault episode, 6.5, kind of like 9 3/4. If you're a Harry Potter fan. Uh, Josh is not able to air it. He is going to work hard to air this for us. Put a garnish in here. Uh, and a lot happened in that episode. It was our longest episode to date.
Yeah.
Kevin did a beer chug on the show. We had the commissioner on. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Forbes made a allegedly drunk trade on the show. Um, we introduced a new parlay for the loser that we're gonna get into later. A lot fucking happened, Dan.
A lot did happen on that show. I kind of forgot about the whole Forbes thing on that. And yeah, fortunately, the show is lost in the archives forever, I believe, Houston. Hopefully we'll get a clip here, a clip there, but
We'll
you know,
see. We'll see.
we'll see. We'll see if we can be able to recover
That I guess
bits
the
and
biggest thing that
pieces.
happened in that, Dan, was we did power rankings. That was
Yeah.
our mid-season power rankings before the playoffs. So we did one at the beginning of the year, did
Mm-hmm.
one midpoint, and after another, we had a bye week last week, and after the 2 weeks that have gone by, those rankings were pretty fucking accurate.
They're holding up okay. They're holding up okay, Houston. I think we were pretty spot on with our rankings there, and that's what you boys really missed out on the most is the ranking show because we break down each one
Every
of your
team.
teams, fucking player names, fucking thoughts, analysis. You get all the good stuff, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
but we'll recap that quickly for you.
We're gonna recap the standings that from 2 weeks ago, and you can compare and
Yeah,
see where they're at now
yeah,
via the app or in your own heart and soul. But yeah, we
yeah.
got it.
Here, I'll rip through them here real quick, Hugh. So I got starting at 12. We'll start at 12. So let's start at 12. Murphy. 11 Anthony, 10 Max, 9 Kevin, 8 Eric, 7 Forbes, 6 Houston, 5 Dan, 4 Timmy, 3 Jeff, 2 Josh, and 1 Ruben. So holding up pretty good. We still got,
And this is live analysis, Dan. I'm looking at this and our little app here. The
mhm.
only one that is really off is Anthony because he's on a 4 game win streak. So he's won these
I
last
know.
2 weeks and he was near the bottom. So he, as well as me, has climbed up. He's really the only one that has
Wow.
shifted there.
I've
You
had
actually
no idea.
climbed up relative to the rankings we had two
Yeah.
weeks ago. We
Dude,
expect you to go maybe 1-1 and continue to win.
I keep
Uh,
Anthony has got a 4-win streak. I didn't even
I
see
didn't
that
know
in
it.
all of this
Yeah,
time, dude. That's crazy. Anthony's been on a
yeah,
tear.
yeah.
Wow.
He
Wow.
he now has Dan, the least points against. He's really
Does
lucked
he?
out. Seven sixty
Oh.
seven.
Dude, he
Yeah,
got by quite a bit too, by like 40
yeah.
almost.
His points for
Wow.
are mid.
Weak.
They're mid, as the kids say.
I would say mid to weak too.
Yeah.
There's a spread in the points for. There's like the low 800s and 700s and then the high 800s and 900 people, really.
Hmm.
Anyways,
I think the big
um,
shock with that is the only other person that isn't, up to the standard that you guys set on that would be Jeff. We had him ranked at 3
yeah,
mid-season. He's dropped
we did.
to what the one,
He's
two,
right now sitting at three. He's the best of the 3 and 5 teams according to ESPN, but 3 and 5 is tough to be our number three ranking. So that's a good call out, Josh.
Hey, but I mean, I think they're holding up pretty well, like we said.
I
And
agree,
there's
and
more games to be played too for those to even out, which we'll
that's what I
get
was just gonna
into.
say.
We're gonna get into another segment. Who's in, who's out. That's kind of
Mhm.
always been one we touch on at some point. Excited for that one. But is there anything else we had to recap from the last 2 weeks, or we got to move?
No, Houston, we
Lions
got it
have
all.
continued to shred.
Lot,
Uh,
yeah,
they look so good. They
dude.
look so good.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch all the Tennessee game, but I was looking on my phone and I just kept seeing points just getting added to the fucking score. I couldn't believe it, dude. It was crazy.
Jared Goff had like less than 100 yards passing, and they scored 52 points or
Did
whatever.
he really? Did he really have less than 100? Holy
Mm.
shit! Holy shit. Yeah, them Lions.
Amon Ra had like 2 catches in the whole game.
I saw my boy David Montgomery had one of those passes though. Actually, no, that was the Laporta, I think. But trick
Yeah.
plays galore too.
Yeah. But I mean, we are, gosh, I wish we had Kevin here. We talked about how far playoffs were away 3 weeks ago. How
Yeah, I
far?
think it's like week 14 they start, Hughes. So I think we got 5 more weeks, maybe. It's a good question.
5 more weeks. That's a little more time than I thought. But it's gonna
Still
be
some
picked up
time.
on the fast. Still
Still some
got
time to
some
make
time.
some moves, man. People
Still
can.
some time.
This leaderboard isn't set yet. That's for sure. I know that. I know there's gonna be at
Correction, week
least
15 through 17 is the actual playoffs.
Okay, so there's 6 more games. Yeah, there's gonna be some shuffling to continue coming here. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Hughes, let's move on to. So now we can actually start this week's episode because we had a recap last week's
So
episode. So this week we have some chugs to owe. I know Max owes us this one from last week. So Max, let's see it again, brother. I know this ain't your first one this year.
another one, but yeah, ain't your first rodeo. You're at the bottom for a reason. Eric gets a pass. Eric has told us the news that um, it's causing him to avoid alcohol, which is a wise decision. Um, Try having kids and then find. But that I'd put my hand out for you. Anywho,
Nice.
who's in, who's out?
Who's in? Who's out, boys? So me and Houston are gonna be throwing at you maybe a team that's in the playoffs that we don't think is making it, and a team that's not in the playoffs with the current standings at least that is gonna make it. So, Houston, I can go first unless you got something dialed up.
I don't have anything dialed up. I
Okay.
didn't know that they had to be out to be in and in to be out, but I guess that makes
Oh,
sense.
it doesn't have to be that way in my mind, I guess. I just kind of assume too. So you
I,
make
I
up your
was
own rules.
avoiding the obvious ins, right? So top four are Ruben,
Yeah.
Josh, Dan. You guys got 80+% chance to make it. Like, I don't think those are going to be a who's out. It's not a hot take, right? Um, I guess it would be a hot take, but I don't think saying they're in is a hot take.
Yeah.
Just like saying Max, Kevin, or Murph are going
Yeah.
to be out is a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
But are they going to, if one of those guys are in, that's a hot take. If Kevin makes a run with his
Yeah.
5% chance to make the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak, that would
All
be
right. All right, Hughes. I'll tell you who the first team I think is out here. And I'm gonna go. Oh, gosh. I had two, but I'm just gonna go with one now because Anthony's been on such a tear. I'm gonna ride that out for a second. I'm gonna go with Forbesy though, dropping out of the playoffs because I keep hating. I feel like every episode I'm talking about how Forbes is gonna drop out of the playoffs or lose this week or lose that week. But it's just because I don't like your team, Forbesy. I just fucking shit stomped you this week. You put your best foot forward and still barely broke 100. I just don't see you getting there, buddy. So I think we're gonna see Forbesy drops off. The points for and the points against tail does not tell a favorable story for Forbes. I can tell you that much at least. So I got Forbes out, Houston.
I'm looking at his team. I mean, Puka came back, huge help.
That is big help.
When does Pacheco come back? I mean, yeah, he's got some of those hitters. Pittman, probably not. I mean, Flacco's coming in, maybe. Jerry Judy, I don't even know what happened to him as a football player. Yeah, I see it. He's got some solid core pieces, but yeah, no, I get it. I can see that. I can see it. I'm gonna go with the one you were thinking. I'm gonna go with
Mm,
the guy on a 4-game win streak. Like, that's Anthony as the one that's gonna be out. His players played really well. Now I'm looking at his team. Actually, great pickup by Tillman, Anthony, for
mm.
Cleveland. All the experts saying he was gonna have a breakout week. Uh, I think you're top heavy. You got nothing on your bench.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert having a good week got you another W, but I don't see it happening again. Um, Man, yeah, Rashad White. He's getting less carries. I don't know. I just we've never liked this team. We had him ranked at the bottom. Our pre-ranked 2 weeks ago. We had him at 11. Kudos to you for beating the odds. But points against don't last forever.
Yeah. And I look at Houston, I see like 3 players on his team that I like. When Jalen Hurts, Joe Mixon, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And after that, I
I'm
just
assuming
just
Jalen
flex
Hurts
at
got
best.
2 rushing touchdowns last week, right? Don't even know.
Yeah, probably though. I mean, Jalen Hurts is always good. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a
Three,
good quarterback.
three rushing touchdowns last week. There you go, 35 points. I mean, so
Yeah,
that could on the W. Then I think Joe Mixon had a good week too, and he's solid,
yep.
right? Yeah. Amon's not getting touches because they don't need it. They don't need it. But yeah, so Anthony's my out. Who do you got for being in?
Okay, the who's in. I hadn't quite figured this one out yet, but I do have an idea where I'm going with this. I'm gonna give the honorable mention who's in here, Houston. I'm gonna sidetrack for a second. I'm gonna give the honorable mention to Kevin. I think Kevin's team, he said it a little bit, and I kind of agree. His team is kind of coming together a little bit. It could get streaky. He just got Cooper Cup back. He's got a pretty solid team. I could see it happen. So I'm just gonna go. That's my honorable mention. But hopefully this week I play Kevin Houston and I can just stomp on all of his hopes and dreams this year
Yeah,
if I just beat him this week.
I would
So
finish.
gotta get a dub against Kevin this week so I can make that honorable mention prediction look stupid. I don't even care. Real pick here is I'm gonna give Houston, I'm gonna give you the chance to pick yourself, and I'm gonna go with Jeff instead because I do think those are probably the two most likely. And looking at Jeff's team here, Lamar Jackson, you gotta love that. Brees Hall, James Conner, very solid. Drake London, I really like. Devontae Adams, we'll see, but he does have some wide receiver depth. He just lost Mike Evans. Is Evans out for the year? Or is that Godwin's out the year, Hughes?
Godwin.
No, Godwin's out. Evans might come back.
Okay. Losing Evans hurts for sure, but I think we've always kind of liked Jeff's team. I mean, we got him number 3 in our damn power rankings for some reason. So
Yeah.
we might as well put our money where our mouth is here, Houston. I think Jeff's team's got a few more wins coming his way, man. The points for are in his favor a little bit there. He's on the right side of that equation. So yeah.
So I don't disagree. Here's where I'm looking at his roster right now, and I think he's got good running backs and receivers he can put in. But it's
Mhm.
interesting, he's got, and maybe this is a Forbes psych play, which we referenced in last week's episode that Josh couldn't air. He has Brees Hall and Devontae Adams. And maybe he had Devontae Adams before, but he's got 2 New York Jets guys. Like, okay, that's conservative, but this isn't one of those ones where you get to play like 100 people in your lineup, right? And then he's got 2 Las Vegas guys in Brock Bowers
Yeah,
and Madison. I would start any 4 of those guys, don't get me wrong, but on the same team,
that's rough.
it's rare that this isn't a quarterback stack, right? I don't know if both of them are always going to go off, and not
Yeah.
these teams are high scoring uh,
Mhm.
this year, right? This was Kansas City, something else, maybe, but you're not. So,
And to add to that, Hughes, both of these teams are pretty dangerously close to being completely out of the playoff race too. Like Las Vegas is
right,
basically toast already, and the Jets have been trash too. So
right.
who knows even in 5 weeks' time if those players are even playing anymore, which is
Yes, we're gonna have going mobile. This is our first mobile.
oh wow.
Well, I'm
Wow.
I'm I'm at 5% battery. I just got the warning, so I got to get the charger.
Mm. Well, just in
Thing
time,
about
Houston.
Jeff's team is I feel like it looks good on paper. Like the names are these
Yeah.
historically big time names, but they're just not having the years. I mean, Brock Bowers, beast.
hmm
He's got like 1 touchdown.
Does he really only have one?
I'm
He's
pretty sure he's got like 1 touchdown. And then
just a yardage
Devontae, big
monster.
name, not having a good year. Brees Hall's like the 18th running back in the league. I mean, if you look at the list of people who have a higher point averages than him, you'd be shocked. I mean, Lamar, I
Yeah.
think, is truly carrying his team, and honestly, it's the first breakout year for London. So and then you look at his bench, and I mean, yeah, like you said, he's got Lazard, he's got Tucker. Like, I mean, he is banking on
Yeah.
2 offenses, and we say this all the time. He is
Mm.
banking on really good players from really bad offenses, and I just don't see it coming to fruition for him.
Yeah, I think that's good analysis right there, boys. Is that call out? 'Cause I do think that's going to be his Achilles here. I didn't even realize he had three Raiders and 3 Jets, dude. That's crazy.
Right.
All right, Houston, who do you got in?
I can do myself. I'm one outside of the lead. I'm the only 4-4 team. Interesting fact. I'm
hmm
the arbiter of truth. I'm right down the middle. Okay, I'll tell you how it is. Right, left, leaning, whatever you are. I am the truth. Um, So I don't want to pick myself, even though I do think I will fall on the right side of history. But I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say to the man I've known since kindergarten, just going through hell, and he's going to keep on going. I think Eric is going to make a surprise. Not honorable mention.
Love it.
This is
I
it.
love it.
He's just outside the bottom three. He's on a 2-game losing streak. I think due to poor game management. But I think the Cowboys are going to step it up. I think Dak Prescott's going to start airing the ball out. Plays Atlanta this weekend. Those are high-scoring games with Kirk Cousins. He's got Najee Harris, which he's in a bye week. Please fucking take him out of your lineup, Eric. He didn't do that with Dak the week before I played him. This was a week after the 6.5 episode. And he didn't play Dak, and then Dak had to play. I had to play Dak, and because he just left his lineup. And it was a somewhat close game. But he's got Kamara, Tyreek Hill with Tua back.
Yep.
Ingram coming back from injury, and the Jacksonville, I think they won their last game. They're kind of getting back in the hunt. Tank Dell with Diggs and what's his name? Nico Collins out. Tank Dell should be the number 1 receiver. And we liked Tank Dell before, right? But then Stephon came over and Nico was healthy because he got hurt last year. But Tank Dell has been stud last year.
Yeah, he was real good last year.
I think he might have picked up Dalvin Cook here for Dallas, but
Yeah.
he's not the greatest bench. You got Deebo Samuel on a bye. Decent bench. I think he's got a decent team. I think he's got enough to make a run with the right matchups. That's my in. I think there's too much weakness with Anthony Forbes in the mix. I think they fall. I hope he doesn't pass me, but he could. I think our teams are comparable. And yeah, Eric is my this is gonna be a small victory. I might even say back-to-back championships from starting in this spot, but I'm not gonna go there. Not gonna go there yet.
Wow. Yeah. See, you said his team's a lot like yours, Houston. This is where I gotta disagree with it though, is because you look at the running backs. He's got Najee Harris on bye. I don't even know. There's nobody there. He's got to make a move. He's got He's got Dalvin Cook projected 0.
You're right. I have a sweet team. I'm so gonna win everything.
You have sweet running backs, but you don't have no wide receivers for fucking shit.
And I think
Godwin's
I
out.
think I've traded too.
You and Eric need to make a trade. You gotta get that kindergarten connection going and do a little swappy poo.
You're telling me.
I think it's
Can I tell a funny story? Can I tell a funny story?
go for it.
So like a picture of Eric and I came up in my memories thing of us in kindergarten in a little Domino's little field trip thing. So I sent it to him.
Of
So I
course.
sent it to him, and he responds to me, and he goes, "This was like 3 weeks ago." He responds to me, "Sorry, Eric, for the personal link. It was a great story. Love you, buddy." And he responds to me, he goes, "Thanks, buddy. Really needed this. Like, you probably already know Ashley and I are getting divorced." And I'm like, "Fuck no." And he goes, "Haha, when I thought of this, I thought you were sending me a trade offer." I literally had the trade offer teed up. And I was sending that next. Had the whole thing in the text, the screenshot of the trade via the ESPN app, and I was like, backspace, 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 backspace. Because he's been on the decline, so I was trying to hose him. And I was like, better not.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude. That's hilarious. Couldn't hit the backspace fast enough there, it sounds like to me, man.
No. But yeah, Eric's my in. So we'll see. What else we got next on top?
Yeah, what else do we got next? Touched on a lot of these little topics here.
Yeah, 4-4 team, no single team at the
Yeah,
bottom. That's kind
yeah.
of interesting. I mean, who do we have? We had Murphy,
Ruben?
right? He's really living
Yeah.
up to that.
Matchup of the week.
Maybe a quick shout out for Ruben and for too. That's pretty. He's got that solo right
Josh
now, which is
lost,
pretty
right?
sweet. Yeah, Josh is not in first place anymore. which
Josh,
is-
who did you lose to? Can you give us an assessment on your loss?
You know,
Lost
Yeah.
to Ruben.
But I
I
wanna hear.
I was hiking in Moab, Utah with no cell phone reception. And
Mhm.
I before I lost cell phone reception, I had Devontae Smith in my lineup. I just didn't hit save. And
Dude.
so I think I lost to you, Houston, but I mismanaged. I was on vacation and you took advantage.
You
kudos.
did not lose to me. We played each
Oh,
other.
damn it. You're right. We played each
and-
other this week.
I
Yeah.
think
Who
he
did I
lost to
lose to?
Ruben. I
I
think he
lost to
lost to
Ruben.
Ruben.
I lost Ruben. You're right.
Dude, I saw you didn't have Devontae Smith in your lineup, and I was like, that was such a dumb move. And you had some other wide receiver who I would have much rather played
Let me
Devontae.
see here. Let me
I
look
had
at
Amari Cooper,
Yeah. Yeah. He posted like a 0 for you too, didn't he?
0.8. Yeah, after a 14 spot the week before.
at
Yeah.
Seattle versus Devontae Smith.
And I had texted you guys when I finally had some cell phone reception. It said it was 110 to 55. And I was like, oh, I just host Ruben. He had like 3 or 4 players left to play. And then I get cell phone reception again, and I'm up by like 2 points, and he's got Pickens left. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I think I would have put. That's tough with Cooper, right? I don't know. You could even argue putting Pearsall in, but
Anybody else I would have won.
All right. All right. Let's move on here, Hughes. We got matchup of the week.
moving on.
Per
Yeah.
always, boys. Some big ones coming up here too, I would say. I haven't even looked at the scoreboard yet, but I know there's some big ones coming up because every game's getting more important from here on out, Hughes.
Mhm. This one's tough for me. Yeah, I'll take this one so you don't have to, Dan.
Yeah.
Because you could say me and Josh, because that's gonna
Mhm.
even out the top even more rather than
Mhm.
disintegrate separate the classes, if you will, from the top three. There's just gonna be one spot fighting for. But if I beat Josh, there's gonna be 2 to 3 spots people are
Yeah.
fighting for.
Yeah. Yeah. But
If you
Josh
want to
beats
take
you, it
that,
kind
you
of
do. If you
separates.
don't, you don't. I'm not offended. I'm gonna take Dan and Kevin because Dan is on a 5-game win streak. Kevin's on a 4-game losing streak. Kevin is the third from bottom, but he's still up there, and his team is solid. They are getting healthy. He more likely than not 5 games left, so he would end up, if he won out, he would be 7-6, and he would probably have like a 70% chance to make the playoffs based on other teams.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
he needs this, and so I think this is where the separation. If we talk about economies, okay, and to be unburdened by what was, and blah blah blah. This is where it happens. If Dan smashes Kevin, the separation of classes has begun, and if Kevin wins, you're back to 5-4. Maybe Houston's 5-4. Maybe Josh is 5-4.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
5-4 teams.
Yeah, that's another game, me and Kevin, that would really open up the playoff race if Kevin's able to pull out a W there, though.
So
I
right
agree
now,
with
Kevin's
you.
favored by 8 points or so.
Yeah, I don't have a defense yet. That's my problem. So
You
keep
don't
me a
have
little
it, yeah,
slack.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would about even it out.
Yeah.
I like in my matchup of the week. I like you, Dan, to carry on, carry on,
Nice.
carry on.
Nice.
I don't see
Yeah.
Montgomery stopping. I see Kyle Pitts continuing and getting at least 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow had a down week, but that dude is gonna, yeah. I think Burrow and Chase, he's getting a touchdown like every fucking week, man.
Yeah, that's been a nice little stack for me. It's been a nice little stack for me. I think I think
Great stack.
I think it's gonna be
Great pickups.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game between me and Kevin. I think Kevin's team is on the rise. I really do. But like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I cannot
Bad
wait.
matchup. Bad matchup. A question, Dan.
I want to end
When
this
did you
season
draft
though.
Chase and Burrow? Take a side chant.
What? We don't have much. We gotta get going pretty quickly here.
Oh yeah, we got the message. You gotta go. Okay,
Yeah,
give me
okay,
the
we'll do it
matchup
next.
of
We'll
the
do it
week.
next. Okay, my matchup of the week. My matchup of the week. I hadn't picked yet, so give me 1 second here.
Got Eric and Max 2, 3, and 5 teams.
Oh, baby. All right, I'm gonna go.
5-3.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna do.
Wow.
I'm gonna
There's a
do.
lot.
I'm gonna do Eric and Max. I like Eric and Max. 2, 3, and 5s. Absolutely need.
Realistic stay-ins in the mix.
Yeah, yeah, they. If you lose this week, your season's basically over. If you win this week, you're in the hunt. And so I like games like that where it's a high stakes game. Both of these guys are in big need of a win here, as we've been talking about a little bit here. Don't love either of their team. I don't, and I'm gonna go with Eric to pull out the W in the long run there, just because I think, although he doesn't have a
I know.
running back
I
right now,
love Max's team
I'm
is
gonna
so
go
bad.
Max.
I think it's so bad.
Oh, they're both so bad. I don't even know who to pick.
Eric-
But I'm gonna
Eric
switch
has
to Max.
Najee on a bye in right now, and he still has a 60% win probability.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, Max
minus 14.5 without a running back in.
Max's running back situation is just as bad as Eric's, if not worse. So no. Give me Eric. I'm going back to Eric. Lock it in.
Eric doesn't have a fucking other running back on the bench.
I don't care. I don't care. You don't need him. You don't need him.
If Max
Somebody-
can survive this week, he'll have CMC coming back, and it could completely change his season.
Is
Yeah.
he supposed to come back then?
He's supposed to come
Next
back week 10. And so if
How
Max
long are you
survives this
trading?
week,
Are you going to trade Jordan Mason to Max? You should have a
For
backup
cheap.
for him.
Yeah,
I've already tried. Max's requests are
too
absurd.
high. Yeah, dude. I tried to get DJ Moore from Max, and he was not about it, or he was making me pay way too high of a price. Anyways, real quick, Hughes, since I know we're running low here on time, Josh, you want to get into the parlay pitch, Hughes? I'll let you explain
Right.
that since you're the resident better here.
And we made a bet that
Oh,
I
yeah.
had to the group me, but I made a bet with Kevin
Mm-hmm.
that I would beat my project. I was projected to like 138 points, and I said I would go over it. And we bet $10 on it. I was wrong, so I chugged a beer. Had to pay him $10. Did, but the new thing we came up with, we sent it on the Instagram chat. The loser of the week, on top of chugging a beer and telling us why your team sucks, has to put a $10 parlay on any betting app, whatever, and everyone sends in a leg. If you don't send in a leg because you don't watch this, Anthony, Murph, Eric, you don't get to be part of the winnings. But Kevin's gonna put in the bet with everyone's leg, right? Detroit money line, Tank Dell plus 70 yards, whatever it is.
David
we're gonna-
Montgomery touchdown. Yeah.
We're gonna split the winnings. Doesn't have to be on your fantasy guy, whatever. Be whatever the fuck you want. But we're gonna do it. He's gonna share the bet slip. We're gonna share the winnings, and I hope we win every fucking week, and just
That would-
pay others buy-in. If we won like a $3 bet off of $10, right? Because you're doing anywhere between if 8 people put it in versus all 12, you're gonna win big, and it's gonna be fun for everyone. It's supposed to get us involved, talking, and nothing but fun to come from this, and a loss of $10 every week, but
Yeah.
nothing.
I like
So
it a lot. I like it a lot.
lot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be fun. I think that makes a lot of sense. Kevin talked about it last week on the podcast, but once again, the podcast was lost forever. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll start it next week, Hugh, since that probably makes the most sense, right?
We're gonna start it this week.
Ooh.
Kevin is the loser of the week with like 79 points, so he owes us a chug.
Wait, who?
I thought Kevin, or no,
No,
Matt.
it's not Kevin.
Matt.
It's Max. Yeah, it's Max.
Oh God, getting Max.
You wanna-
Does he know how to do that?
No, I don't know if we want to start it on Max. That might be a little
I
tough.
think we gotta try. We're gonna try. We'll get something going in the group meet once Josh posts this. Josh, post it with, hey, go to the last 2 minutes if you want to know. Give your bet to Max. Max is gonna put a bet in. Let's text him and let him know what he's got to do too.
Copy that. I'll send it out tonight.
All right. Dan, gosh, it's been with the bye week and that lack of.
Ugh.
I forget how we end the episode.
I think it starts with F.
And then a T.
See you later, boys. Nice.